The mystery of an art world that might finally have been solved is this 400-year-old painting, portrait of Henry VIII. It was considered lost, arguably, for hundreds of years, and yet its whereabouts were discovered last month, unlikely places. The art historian Adam Busiakiewicz was scrolling through his social media feed when he noticed a painting hanging in the background of this photograph. That's the photograph, and in the background was the picture. Shire Hall in Warwick, in England. He suspected it was a missing portrait of the Tudor monarch Henry VIII, part of a series commissioned in 1590s. Now, if his suspicions are true, then the painting could be worth a small fortune. And it's not the first time this has happened. He also found Portrait of an Unknown Lady by Joan Carlyle. They found that in 2018. Adam's with me now. Adam, what made you... how did you even know about this painting if it's been lost for so long?
Well, the set that Ralph Sheldon commissioned in the 1590s, that is in the reign of Elizabeth I, when Shakespeare was alive, was very famous in its day for being one of the probably greatest sets of Tudor portraits. And in 2015, a study was made of all of them. And it turned out that the portrait of Henry VIII that was part of the set of 22 paintings was unknown. It was untraced. Right. It was in other way missing. So it's an exciting rediscovery.
What did you think when you saw this?
Well, one of the things about the Sheldon set is they all have very distinctive arch tops, which actually for portraits of the 16th century is quite rare. So that was immediately of interest to me. So then I tried to find other photographs of the picture. I found that it's actually housed in the same frame as other surviving Sheldon paintings. And then I hit the books, and within about an hour or so, I was very lucky enough to work out that this is the missing painting that has arguably been lost since it was last sold in 1781.
And of course, the local council are going to sort of preserve it and make sure that it's kept for others and for everybody to enjoy. But it's not the first time you've done this. Do you make a habit of sort of zooming in on your photograph social feed to see if anybody's got an old master behind them?
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, some people use social media for cat videos and such. I use it to look at what's on people's walls. And, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever we call it now, is a wonderful way for us to peer into rooms that we'll never visit. And so this was just one of those occasions that I had the opportunity. And of course, with that painting by Joan Carlyle, that was, again, just an absolute fluke, really. An acquaintance of mine posted a snap of the wedding, and I spotted it and got in touch with the expert on Joan Carlyle, and they said, yes, this is a missing painting. I mean, it's just luck, really. I think.
Well, you say that, but it's skill and it's years of talent and years of academia that you've put into this. I remember my auntie Dorothy thought, it's a true story, she thought she had a Gainsborough on the wall that she'd picked up at a local auction. It turned out to be a load of old nonsense and wasn't worth anything. But for those few hours when everybody thought it might be something, it was quite exciting. And I think it's the whole thing of the Antiques Roadshow. It's the possibility, isn't it? That's what gets us excited.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And, if you work in the art world, I'm a consultant for the auction house Sotheby's. Anybody in the art world worth their salt, art dealers or specialists, are always looking for overlooked treasures. And you'd be surprised. All it takes is for your grandfather to have bought something, him not told you, and him to have passed away. And then, things fall into obscurity. It does happen, and it can happen. And I'm certainly looking forward to seeing other things on people's walls. If they ever post them.
I'm just going to forward you everything that I've got, every picture I've got in my apartment. Not that there's anything of any great value there. Beautiful stuff and things, I'll agree. At the end of the day, these are magnificent pieces. And I think I always get a little upset when a really great work is bought by an uber-rich person and then disappears off, or either into a vault or onto their castle wall, and we never see it again. These things need to be displayed and seen by us all.
That's one way to look at it. I also think that people have the right to private property. Paintings have always been bought and sold for centuries. Collections have been amassed, they've been dispersed. I think, of course, museums are wonderful things, and it's wonderful in England, for example, that we can go and see them free. But also, as long as paintings are looked after, taken care of, and preserved for future generations, that's the most important thing, as long as they're not destroyed, in my opinion, at least.
I think that might be a very valuable piece behind you, or not, as the case may be.
No, I'm a very modest collector. But you know what? I mean, another thing about the an art world is that you don't have to spend a lot of money to find something beautiful. And some of the best things I've ever bought that I have in my room here, I paid less than £20 for. Just
Thank
go
you.
to antique shops and look.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Delightful to have you on the programme tonight. Thank you.